Vertical smokers taste different. There's a hidden flavor that most grills never capture. And today, we're breaking down why it happens and how you can copy it on your own grill. Ever bite into ribs that taste smoky but still kind of flat, like something's missing? That's because you're leaving out a layer of flavor. And the best part is, you don't need a new grill to get it. So let's talk a little bit about vertical smokers. They usually come in two designs. You've got drum smokers, that's everything from classic barrels to the Weber Smoky Mountain. Some run racks, others use rods and hooks to hang meat. Then there are cabinet smokers with a front door and racks or hooks inside. Both styles show up a lot on the competition trail. What makes them stand out is how they position food directly above a heat source. That's the key setup that allows what we call grease vaporization to happen naturally. Here's the science behind it. As fat and juices drip off of the proteins, they hit the hot coals or heated surface. That contact instantly vaporizes them into flavorful smoke, and the airflow carries it right back across the meat. That vapor brings compounds you won't get from wood and charcoal smoke alone. It adds a savory, almost umami layer that builds a unique flavor profile. But let's be clear, it has to be controlled. A quick sizzle that burns clean gives you flavor. A flare-up with heavy white smoke gives you soot and bitterness. If you think about it, the strength of vertical smokers is also their weakness. Because the fire sits right under the food, you're not just cooking with convection heat transfer, you're also getting a strong dose of radiant heat as well. That radiant heat can be harsher than an indirect setup on a kettle or barrel. That's why you'll see folks add water pans, drip pans, or deflector plates to soften the heat and protect the food. Compare that to a kettle grill running indirect. Your coals are sitting on one side, the meat on the other, and you're cooking with a gentler convection airflow instead of direct radiant heat. Now let's talk about offsets for a minute. The drippings from the food are contained to the main chamber, and nothing hits the coals in the firebox, so you don't experience this added layer of flavor. And typically when you run indirect on a kettle or barrel, drippings often fall into a water pan or cold zone. That means no vaporization and no extra layer of flavor. The result is food that's cooked well, but without that distinct taste you notice on vertical smokers. That's the flavor most backyard setups are missing. That's why we developed the drip coals method. In our recent rib cook, we ran B&B briquettes as the primary fuel source for steady, even heat. Then we tucked a small batch of Kingsford Original briquettes directly under the ribs. About 6 to 12 briquettes lit and ready to go. That zone became the target for drippings to hit and vaporize. As fat rendered, it hit those coals, sizzled, and carried flavor right back up into the meat. You get a similar effect as a vertical smoker, but on a backyard barrel or kettle grill. The key here is control. Don't add too many drip coals at once. If the coals dwindle, you can add 2 to 4 briquettes to refresh. Always watch for clean, thin smoke. If you see a billowy white smoke or a sustained flame, it's time to pull back. To be fair here, not every vertical smoker runs this way. Many are set up with water pans or deflectors that shield the food from the intense direct heat and also catch grease instead of letting it hit the coals. But you've got to be careful with drip coals. Let's say you're saucing ribs with high sugar glazes late in the cook. You got to be mindful of those sugars burning and tasting bitter if they come in too much contact with the coals. I like to use drip coals early in the cook while we're still in the smoke absorption window to layer flavor. Then dial back the direct heat exposure when it's time to glaze. That way you get the best of both worlds. After over 30 years on the grill, this is how I keep it fresh. Not by repeating the same old recipe over and over, but by asking the question, how can we level up our grilling game and unlock new dimensions of flavor? That's the mindset that keeps us learning, testing, and pushing forward. It's not just cooking food, it's sharpening our skills and mastering our craft. Let's recap. Vertical smokers taste different because grease vaporization adds a hidden flavor dimension. That flavor comes with trade-offs, but with drip coals, you can recreate it on almost any grill. If you want to see the drip coals method in action, check out our rib cook video linked here in the card above. And if you're ready to master fire control on a deeper level, check out our Grill Smarter bundle. It's built to give you a firm grasp on the grilling and smoking fundamentals so you can set yourself up for success every time you fire up the grill. Thank you so much for watching Daddy DIY Grilling. Until next time, grill boldly, serve proudly, and enjoy the process. I want to give a big shout out to our channel members. It's because of your generous support that we're able to keep creating and sharing these grilling resources. You're a huge part of this community, and we couldn't do it without you.